Hey guys, it's Melody here. I know I'm getting a little bit comfortable here. My back started to hurt from sitting up, so I'm sorry if this kind of annoys you that it's not such good high quality video, but I had to get this video done either way, and it's Sunday night and I have school tomorrow, so yeah. I wanted to answer some frequently asked questions and do a little Q&A about Gaynor Minden's point shoes. This is a dryer sheet, so just disregard that. Totally disregard it. Gaynor Minden's point shoes. This is, if you're wondering, a 8.5 wide, high heel, high vamp, hard shank. Right here. And my feet are very wide. And I'm going to answer some questions about it. So the first question is, what is the new technology in Gaynor Minden? And basically, it has a lot of shock absorption in this area and on the heel. So when you land from a jump, you really just don't put that much pressure on your feet. And it's made from plastic, like elasto something, like some material that's really plasticky. So it kind of just pops back into place. Like you can't really bend it around too much, and it does not break or snap like traditional point shoes. It can only wear out, and that's after a long time. What is the difference between Gaynor Minden's and other traditional point shoe brands? Well, again, shock absorption right here. This is stitched, like sewn around, so it really stays on. A lot thinner, it looks already broken in, like it's basically, pre-arched. Some brands are pre-arched, but this is also pre-arched. Plastic shank, and that's probably it. That's basically it. And should I get fitted for GM online? No, never. You should never get fitted for a point shoe online. You can get fitted for reference of what you should do, what you should get, but never just go totally buy that fitting because you're not sure how you feel in that shoe. Based on how your foot looks, they could say you need a hard shank, but when you go up, you realize you really can't get over your box. It's little things like that that'll just make a big issue. It's not like it's necessarily going to be the wrong size, but it'll just be those little quirky things. It could push you over, knuckling, you never know what you're going to get with these shoes. So be careful with any point shoe brand. How do Gaynor Mindens look on? I feel like they look basically like every other point shoe, but some people have a problem with them and say they look like duck bills. I don't think they do. I think they're very elegant looking, and the fabric is as well. I think it just looks very put together. I don't see a duck bill. This fits my foot right, and honestly, I don't think you should really care as much what it looks like unless you're a professional who's performing. If you're a student or a beginner at point, it doesn't really matter how they look. It sounds really stupid, but students, young, upcoming, ballerinas, they don't need it to look good. And if you watch the Freed videos on the Freed channel, normally the fittings, they do say if they're beginners dancers, don't really focus on the cut, just focus on how they feel in the shoe, and that's very important. So that's a major important thing, part of it. My opinion of this shoe is that it is perfect, and this is what I've been long awaiting for. I got my double pirouette in these babies. Honestly, the difference is amazing, and you can go check out the video I'm gonna make a little bit later on about me and these shoes, personal experience. This is just a Q&A about actually what the shoe is, so you can better understand it before you purchase it. Is this a cheater shoe? No, this is a very controversial topic. I'm going to get much hate for saying no, but no. If you get a Grishko shoe and a pro hard shank and you are starting ballet and you just started point and you're you can't arch more than this. Okay, well, what do you expect to get from that? It'll literally take you like that because you don't have the strength to roll through your shoe. If you have to just pay a lot of attention to the shank. If the shank is perfect for you, you're able to roll on demi point, but also get yourself on to proper point on the platform. So really, it's an important thing. Don't just get whatever shank looks right or whatever shank you think you need. You really need to pay attention to it when you're getting fitted. So yeah. Why are they not traditional? Again, refer to the first answer. They just different construction, and they are made to innovate dance, not to draw it back with paste shoes. I was very close-minded when I first saw these, and I refused to try them on just because I was so caught up on paste shoes. I really was. I didn't want to think about another shoe. I just wanted to think about my lovely paste shoes that I already have, glue and material, that's it. But this has improved my confidence level in dancing, and it just made me a lot better, and I feel like I'm working a lot more in these. So, okay. How do I break them in? You don't. That's the good part here. You don't break them in at all. They are pre-arched, first of all, and the plastic will mold to your arch immediately. You don't need to break them in, and don't really try and break them in because nothing's going to happen, like really. So, don't put water on them either. It won't ruin the shank at all. You can try, dip it in water, and you'll see the shank is exactly the same. It's just gonna make the way the shoe looks a little bit different, so you don't want that. Um, can I glue them when they soften? No, these aren't going to just soften like regular pointe shoes, and they don't have the same construction as regular pointe shoes, so you shouldn't apply everything to these pointe shoes as you would with regular pointe shoes until you've asked your dance teacher or a professional fitter or someone who knows something about Gaynor Minden pointe shoes. How does it break or soften? When should I get new ones? So it doesn't really soften that much, but the demi pointe has been said to soften a teensy bit, not enough for you to go to a different shank, but a teeny bit after a couple classes. And this is actually better for your foot as it will work you even harder since you have to really roll onto your shoe. They do not break. This is unbreakable, said by the creator of Gaynor Minden. So they will only wear down, and that's it. So, when to get new ones, sinking in or knuckling into your pointe shoes is probably the number one thing. Odd toe pain, things like that, that'll just seem off. You won't really see that your arch gets more like bended. You'll probably just see those little signs. Like if your shoe changes really fast into something weird, like you're all of a sudden going over, or you're just kind of getting a weird feeling, normally means that it's dead, but use your common sense. If you got it 2 weeks ago, it's not just going to be dead, just like that. So you really need to put your mind to it. Okay, I've had it for a couple months. I'm kind of sinking. It's uncomfortable. I don't want these anymore. Then it's new shoes. So really think about that. Which shank is good? Okay, I've seen this on a couple different websites. What shank is good? Define what shank is good for which foot, for which person. Like you never know about that stuff. People just need more support for different reasons, and you need to go get fitted for that because I can't say anything about that. Okay. What are the shanks? We have the hard shank, which is this, the extra flex shank, the supple shank, the feather flex, and the pianissimo shank, I guess. The feather flex and the pianissimo aren't very requested, so it's by special order, but the other three are highly requested shanks. The size range, I believe it's about like a size 5 or 6 to a size like 9 or 10, something like that. I'm not totally sure. I have to check on that, but if you search it up, I'm sure it'll come up, or if you go on like Discount Dance and you look through the sizes, you'll see it, but I'm not sure. Why are they so expensive? Excuse me. They're actually cheaper because they last 3 to 6 times. I'm gonna say 6 times, maybe 3 to 5 times, something like that, as much as a pointe shoe. So you're paying $100